Hi guys, what's up? I am Josiah Rizzo.
I'm BENJI Jones.
And obviously we've taken 2 months off.
So much craziness has been happening.
What?
Show them.
Oh, okay.
Show them what you did. For those of you that might just be listening, this guy went all Britney circa 2008 and just shaved his head.
I look Puerto Rican for once in my life.
You look very...
I finally look Puerto Rican. We definitely were both recovering from the emotional stuff that's going on right now.
And also from the Rona.
Yeah, we physically had Rona, so this was supposed to kick off Pride Month.
It was. We had a whole Pride lineup.
And this also is supposed to be our 1-year anniversary of the Pink Podcast.
Yes.
So we've got a lot that we're working on right now behind the scenes, but we also wanted you to be able to see this episode that we recorded a few months back. It stars my drag mother, Trinity the Tuck.
And my future drag mother, Trinity the Tuck. She's going to be the proud drag mom of 2 drag babies. We're
glad that you guys have stuck with us for this long, and we look forward to many more years. Many more years. I didn't mean for it to be that.
Cause like that's aggressive. We look forward to riding this wave with you guys and seeing where it goes and how long that takes.
There you go. Yeah. Anything else you want to say before they listen to the 1-year Pride episode? Great. Great.
I was like, I think that was it, right?
BENJI.
Yes.
Do you know what today is?
Why, yes, I do. It's Pride Month, so not a day.
It's just today.
Day.
It's also... There you go. That's much better than mine. It's our 1-year anniversary. Yes! I could hear it in my head. I'm glad you could hear it.
I definitely heard that.
It's Pink Podcast's 1-year anniversary. That's 1 year of episodes.
And Pink. Now, what are we doing special for this episode?
I decided we should invite my drag mother and RuPaul mentor, Trinity the Tuck Taylor.
Trinity the Tuck, yes.
Onto our episode. You guys have been asking. You had some questions.
Yeah, I was like, I've been asking also because I'm like, I haven't met her yet, and she's like your drag mother. So
right.
Like,
you've heard all of the stories.
I've met your real mother many times.
Right. I have one of those.
Yeah, I have a mother.
No, first off, I just want to say thank you. This is really amazing. And thank you, BENJI. A year-ish ago, we were sitting in a, what was it? The laundromat? Is that where we were coming up with the ideas? Laundromat slash Wingstop?
Yeah. Where we always stop because it's next door.
Definitely Wingstop for sure.
It's funny. Do you know what it also means since we're at 1 year?
What?
It means we are out of our contract.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure I taped it under your desk or I stuck it. It was a Post-it note.
Oh God.
So
I hope it's still there.
This contract, by the way, because we were like, we're going to commit to this. No matter what happens, we're committing for at least a year. And I said, let's sign something. And so I got a Post-it note and said, BENJI and Josiah.
I remember that.
We'll do this for a year. And he was like, wait, that's not official. And I was like, it's official fucking enough. Sign it.
He would have called me out on it if I decided to do anything different.
So yeah. So we're saying this to say the podcast is over now.
Anyway, we had some questions for Trinity.
And so did you guys.
So why don't we just get straight to the episode, BENJI?
Yes, exactly. After we say, make sure you are liking, commenting, and subscribing on social media at Pink Podcast.
That's Pop with a P.
And listening wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Yep.
And watch on YouTube and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. All right, let's go.
I'm Josiah Rizzo.
I'm BENJI Jones.
And on Wednesdays, we wear pink.
Welcome back to the Pink Podcast, a pop culture podcast where we talk about film, media,
and everything else,
and the impact that it's leaving or has left on our lives. I'm Josiah Rizzo. I'm a writer, director, filmmaker.
I am BENJI Jones. I'm an actor, a gay, and your average, ordinary, everyday flouncing queen.
Wow. There's a new one every week.
You know.
But Pride. That one there was 2 true things in that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
There you go. That's different for you.
Flouncing queen isn't necessarily untrue.
What would be the definition of flounce?
I don't know.
We'll figure that out later. We'll look it up in the dictionary. Well, today, as we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary.
And Pride.
Congratulations.
Yes, good job.
As we mentioned, we've invited my drag mother on. Trinity, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Trinity the Tuck. I'm also a flouncing queen.
Yes.
In my Mean Girl shirt, because on Wednesdays we wear pink.
That shirt is
Yes,
amazing.
I love that shirt. I need that.
I love how like some people they'll show up with like 1 ounce of pink, and by some people I mean myself.
Right.
And then other people they just get it.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think you've honestly blown anything I've worn on this podcast out of the water. Like,
I'm pretty good at blowing, so yes.
there we go. Talented. Hashtag multi-talented.
All right, so I love how I just wrote here. Trinity has a chance to speak. All right, Trinity, how do we know each other?
Well, you answered one of my Craigslist ads a couple of years ago.
Right.
Yeah, the misconnections. No, we know each other because you were on the set of RuPaul's Drag Race season 9, and I did your makeup.
You did. You did. In an episode that still makes my Texas friends scratch their heads.
I'm sure they were wondering how it felt to be tucked with duct tape.
Let me tell you, that's like the #1 question I get asked. And I'm sure this comes as no surprise to you, but all my straight friends will like secretly be like, so like, what did it feel like?
Well, what did it feel like?
Please tell me, because yeah.
Well, first off, let's lay a little groundwork here. That was my 3rd job in LA, mind you, like my 3rd ever PA job. And before I came on, one of the previous people who had worked on set looked me in the eye and said, Rizzo, there is no HR. And
I know where this is going. Yep.
it's like whatever happens on set stays on set.
Oh my gosh.
And he was like, just be careful. He was like, especially someone like you need to be careful. And I went, what?
What do you mean someone like me? That's funny.
And then they tossed me to the wolves.
Yeah, well, us dirty, gross drag queens, we'll chew men up and spit them out.
Or swallow, whatever.
Or
Yeah, I mean, depends. It just depends.
Well, it's interesting because like when I first did that, I remember my sister, she was a fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, and I had no clue about anything. And then I come up to her and I was like, oh, by the way, I'm going to be working on the next season of RuPaul's Drag Race. And she got so pissed off, so mad at me. So I would go home after recording and just basically like tell my sister everything and ask a bunch of questions like, what?
Are you allowed to do that?
I mean,
are you incriminating yourself?
I mean, I would never tell anybody anything that was going on. I would ask hypothetical questions.
What if a drag queen had my penis in her hands?
What does that mean for my sexuality?
Does that mean that I could get fired? Does it mean I'm gay? I don't know. No, what was it like when you had to find out that I was the crew member you'd be making over?
Well, before we got acquainted and before you became my drag daughter, I was like, Rizzo is the cutest guy on set. And I was like, he is not straight. I'm like, he may think he is, but he hasn't met the right girl yet. And so, and then whenever I got you and we got to know each other, I'm like, girl, he's like my brother. I can't think of him this way. So I was excited because what I liked about you during that challenge is you were like gung-ho to do whatever you had to do to win. And so that's what I needed in a partner, and that's why we won.
That is why we won. Benji, do you want to start like leading into some of these questions now?
I do want to say that you were gung-ho. I saw like one of the other PAs showed me a video of him rehearsing behind the scenes of like the dance, and I was like, oh my God.
So one of the things that I don't think people understand about the show is, without revealing too much, because I don't know how much we can reveal, but it's not like, what's the show I always compare it to?
Oh, Project Runway.
It's not like Project Runway where you have to like show up with all your own material.
Right.
And
you are responsible for the quality of the material you have to work with, which could give some people a leg up and could have some people kind of like behind. And you were very much, at the time, you were a self-described kind of like scrappy queen. Like, I will make it work no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, there was such a go-getterness to you that I was like, I'm not gonna be the one that fucks that up for Trinity.
Oh no, you better be glad that we won that challenge because I would have murdered her. If I would have went home because of somebody else, bitch, I would have found where you lived. I would have tied you up, taken plenty of sexual pictures, and then mailed them to your mother before I buried you. Okay?
I'm glad you communicated with my mother. Wait, who lost that episode? Did someone go home that night? I can't even remember.
That was the episode that Nina went home, right? Yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Nina and Shay were in the bottom.
Yeah, I would not have felt good if I was there like being able to relax and you were going home.
Like, oh, I still work here.
Yeah, I would have been like, yeah, you would. Can you imagine? So the art guy, what was his name? The art guy that was Nina's partner.
Oh my God,
I don't remember his name either, but him. He still worked there afterwards. He like hid himself, bitch. He was like, I'm not going to be seen.
That's a good transition into
some education for y'all uneducated bitches. I'm not going to pretend I'm educated.
This is as much for you as it is for the audience.
I just put these questions in like some fun categories that they probably don't even make sense. But we're going to start with Drag University, and we're going to go get a little culture. So, what is drag? I was like,
why did that sound?
Just in my notes. What is drag? Where did it start?
Okay,
you did. I feel like you did most of the reading on this. So do you want to?
Oh shit! No. I was gonna ask Trinity. Ask her. I said Reader's Digest. Like, ask her.
Oh, I was like, I thought.
How would you explain drag to the uneducated, Trinity?
How would I explain drag? Are you asking me like where it started? Because girl, nobody really knows that real answer because people have been cross-dressing for like before electricity. Like, I mean, in theater and stuff.
Yeah.
What is drag? Nowadays, the drag has a much looser definition to it because it's just evolved into something else. Drag is art. That's what it is. It's drag is whatever you want it to be, and anybody can do it. Most people identify as drag as like female impersonation, like looking like a woman and not being a woman, but that's not really what drag is. That is one part of drag, but there are many types of drag. Cis women can do drag, trans women can do drag, non-binary people can do drag, straight men can do drag. Like literally, drag is for everybody.
So when you do it, what is it for you when you go up on stage?
I think that when I started drag, I really was trying to be like an impersonation of a woman. I still do that a lot, like which would be considered like glamour drag. But I love doing like comedy stuff that might not necessarily be pretty, weird, crazy. Sometimes I tell this a lot. My favorite drag is pageant, but my second favorite drag is horror drag, like Dragula. I love spooky drag.
Nice. Okay. Speaking of horror and pageant drag, what would you say are like the different types of drag?
Oh, I mean, there's countless, but horror drag obviously speaks for itself, like something that you get like scary or bloody or gory or
nice.
anything crazy, scary looking. Then there's pageant drag, which is like glamour, perfect, what you would think is pageants. There is like a look queen who is all about the look from head to toe. There's comedy or camp drag, which is funny, campy. There's club kid, which is off the wall. Literally, that could be anything. Like just a really cool costume to performance. I mean, there's so many. There
are
literally anything you can think of.
Well, especially because like I mean, you've mentioned even because we filmed in 2006. The episode was released in 2017, and even in those 4 years, the whole world has changed and opened up significantly.
Absolutely.
And is there a drag style that you've wanted to dabble in but have yet to do so?
No, I mean, I think that I have dabbled in a lot of different kinds of drag. Over the years, I've been doing drag literally going on 18 years. So,
Whoop, whoop.
yeah,
Hey.
you were in diapers. So
I wasn't born yet.
Get the fuck out of here.
how old are
18
you?
years old. He's not. How old are you, Benji?
I'm 21.
Oh my gosh, you were literally in diapers when I started drag.
Don't Trinity. Don't listen to Benji. Benji just lied to you.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
He looks 21. He could be. Who knows?
Thank you.
Yeah. Now I feel like a dick. You do look 21, Benji.
Anyways, we were in the middle of something important.
Continue.
There's not something specific that's holding me back. There's not that. I would try anything.
Nice. So you've been doing drag for 18 years. Have you always been Trinity Taylor and Trinity the Tuck the whole time?
Yes. From the beginning
nice.
of my drag career, I was Trinity Taylor, and then my drag name is still Trinity Taylor, but I go by Trinity the Tuck because it's just my nickname and it just sounds more fun. Because when I first started drag, I thought it was cool to be like have a girly name, but now I wish I would have came up with like a really campy name, like started with Trinity the Tuck or something even more campy.
Yeah. How did you come up with Trinity Taylor? Was that just it sounded girly and you liked it, or was there something significant?
Well, my first name Trinity came from The Matrix because when I first started drag, that movie had just came out.
Wow.
Nice.
And Taylor is my actual last name, so I was like, Trinity Taylor just goes.
Nice. Yeah.
That's wicked.
Yeah,
I love
some
that.
good alliteration there. How did you come up with your drag name, Rizzo? What was it?
Oh, actually, yes. Now I get to finally tell you. I was cleaning up some fucking whatever y'all had just done. There was glitter freaking everywhere. This was 2 to maybe 2.5 weeks prior to them approaching me. I'm cleaning up the floor, and I literally, under my breath, just mumble, "It's goddamn glitter for days over here." And then I went, hey, that would be a fun stripper name. I come back home that night, tell it to Benji. I was just like, hey, man, I came up with this stripper name, Glitter 4 Days. And
I was like, first off, it's a drag name, and it's Glittifa, like as if it were Jennifer, but Glittifa Days. And I was like, there it is.
And I went, wow, that's an amazing name that I'll never really need to use.
And then 2 weeks later, he's like, guess what, bitch?
And I think this moment got cut out, but because Rue always goes by the table whenever he's talking to contestants, and he was like, do you have a name picked? I was like, yes. And I said it so quick that Rue was just like, oh, you had that one like way too quick.
Yep. He's been thinking about this for a while.
It's just one of those kismet things. I was just like, oh, that's a really good name.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll write into a story one day.
And what are the odds that
I don't think I own it anymore.
Have you done drag since?
I would totally be up for it. I'd be up to like do like a performance if there was someone helping me through it, but it's just like it's not my thing, and I realized I was like, I'm not gonna keep pursuing something that's just gonna be.
I want, and on Wednesdays we were pink drag off, where we both have to do it ourselves.
Oh God!
And see who wins. Obviously me, but it'll be fun to watch you try.
I can't imagine him doing his own makeup. Oh my gosh!
Right?
I barely even take care of my. This is gonna be the most straight thing ever, but it's like I barely do anything to my face.
Anyway,
just for me.
Yeah.
So
I was like, I haven't done makeup or anything like that either. So that it would be interesting if I'm as good as I would think that I would be, or if I am trash.
I think it'd be a double elimination.
Hey,
exactly.
We got this spirit, bro. Those freaking heels though were like, and I still ended up like we had done it so many perfect times during rehearsal, but I wobbled a little bit and almost thought I was gonna fall like when we actually shot. and I was freaking mortified, but they didn't comment on it, which I was like,
Nice.
either they were blind or they decided not to.
I didn't notice it.
Sheer fear got me through that. Thank you, Trinity.
All right, we're gonna go to one of our first listener questions. This is from Hagen X Tracy, and she says, "You always choose the perfect songs to perform / lip sync to. What do you look for in a song to decide what to choose?"
I think, for most entertainers, not just drag, but specifically drag in this question, you do music that you are feeling, like, that speaks to you, that you get excited about. I don't think there's a specific thing that, like, oh, that's what I want to do. Like, I'm looking for a song that has this lyric or this meaning behind it. It's more of like, when I hear a song, I'll instantly know, okay, that's a song I want to learn, or okay, I don't want to learn that. Actually, that happened not too long ago where I was hired to do something. It's for a project that's coming out later on, where I was hired to lip sync to somebody else's song, and to be honest, I wasn't really feeling the song. It's not a song that I would generally lip sync to, and so it was really hard to learn the words, because when you're not feeling it, you just don't want to do it, and it just doesn't click.
Yeah.
I just do stuff that I like, that I want to do, that I feel.
Yeah.
There you go, Hagen _X _Tracy.
Oh my gosh, you don't have to pronounce the underscore.
I don't. They know who they are.
They know who they are. You
They
don't
want
have
it.
to say
Okay,
underscore.
continue.
Anyways, what's the best way to make the crowd remember you? What are tricks that you use?
Well, a trick that I used to use, it's not really okay to do this anymore, but I used to just, make out with straight boys, and then they would remember you. I definitely don't do this anymore. Like, trust me, don't do this anymore.
Disclaimer,
guys.
Disclaimer. And in the past, when I have done that, I've never had the guys were having fun with it. It was all just a gag for the show.
Right.
I used to do this trick where, like, if in an audience, I would, like, say, hey, are there any straight guys in the audience? And then usually it was a guy with his girlfriend, and she'd be pointing him out. The straight girl always wants you to embarrass her boyfriend. So I would pull the straight guy on stage, and, like, I would, like, question him, and then at the end, before he left, I would be like, just give me a kiss on the cheek, and then you can go back to your thing. And when he went to give me a kiss, I would turn, and he would give me a kiss on the lips. And so that's just a way no tongue or anything like that. It was just gimmick stuff like that. Not necessarily that, but other things like gimmicky, get the crowd going, and they have fun. That's what it's about. But I do want to say, I don't do that anymore. I really believe in consent. Definitely ask beforehand if you do this in the future. Yeah.
Absolutely. I
No cherry pies here. No cherry pies here. No cherry pies here.
All right.
Disclaimer.
Right? Full disclaimer. It's going to be a blinking red disclaimer. Next fan question is going to be from Maria Bueno. Oh.
I think that's Bueno 0.
Yeah, but I'm having fun pronouncing it. You know who you are. What was your biggest inspiration to become a drag queen? I admire you so much, heart.
Well, I think the biggest inspiration at the time when I first started drag was money. I had just turned... no, seriously. I had just turned 18, and, girl, you're a broke 18-year-old, and my friend was like, you're skinny, and you would be a really pretty drag queen. Like, being skinny equals pretty. It doesn't.
Right.
Because I was not.
It was a different time.
I was hard, okay? It was not pretty. So, letting everyone know, skinny does not equal pretty, okay? Don't let anybody ever fool you into thinking that.
Disclaimer.
Another disclaimer. And so my friend was like, you should do drag because you would be pretty. And I was like, no. And then they were like, I dare you. And I was like, oh, God, okay, a dare. And then they were
what?
Yeah, and then they were like, you can make money doing it. If you enter this contest, you can win $100. So at the time, an 18-year-old that's broke, $100 is a lot of money. you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I cross-dressed. I mean,
Yeah.
I could have done worse things for $100, so.
No, for sure. That's awesome. That is a good reason to start drag. Many henny, and then you find the love for it later.
Yeah, grow into the love.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
So,
Next category, actually. So we are going from Drag You
Category
University
is
to Drag You, talking about you, Trinity the Tuck. What is the best thing about being in drag?
I think the best thing about being in drag is the money. Oh gosh. So we started
I love
out
that.
in drag for money, and now here we are still doing drag for money.
right.
Love a queen with priorities.
I think money is just the side effect of doing drag. You know, you don't
Mhm.
really do drag for the money because you spend so much money on your art. You never make it back, especially before Drag Race. The reason why you do drag is because it makes you feel good. It's an outlet for your creativity. For me, drag has shown me how to be a better person. It's shown me how to be an adult. It's taught me business. It's taught me social skills. Like drag has literally made me who I am outside of drag today.
And I just want to highlight something here. So, like we had said earlier, like you had to bring you were responsible for all of the supplies and all the outfits that you brought to set.
Right.
And especially before, because this was before you would be one of the top 4, which meant that like you said before Drag Race, like all of your money was going into this. And even you yourself had like told me, it's like basically I'm making this work with what I have. And I never obviously this is nothing against all the other queens because I have admiration for them as well. But that was when I was excited. I was like, I enjoy working with Trinity because you were just like, I'm going to make this work and nothing is going to put me back. And no one would ever have known that maybe at the time financially you weren't as well off as maybe some of the other queens because you fucking made it work. And here's
Wrong
another
show.
brag. Here's another brag too. Make it work. Another brag. You finished your costume and my costume, and we were pretty much ready to go before anyone else was finished with either of their costumes.
Well, thank you. I think that people don't realize, like, when you first go into Drag Race, most queens are beauty on a budget. They are coming from, what is considered like a local queen life, where you get paid pennies to do drag in nightclubs wherever you're from. And and most of my looks for season 9, I made myself, most of them. And I spent on materials and whatever else, hair and costumes of what I didn't make, about $2,000, which at the time was a lot of money for me.
Yeah.
Right.
And then going into All Stars, I spent around more than $20,000 on my looks.
Wow.
So there was a big difference of having resources before and after the show. And speaking to our challenge specifically, I think we were the only ones that we made our own outfits from scratch that day. Because I know that that most of the other girls brought stuff from home. Like Nina she used that lingerie stuff that she had from home. Shay had those dresses that she just was gluing appliques to. Alexis Michelle already had stuff. Sasha brought all of that stuff from home. So we were literally the only ones that made it from scratch, from fabric that day.
That's
mic drop.
insane.
That's a little.
Mic drop.
Honestly, that's crazy. From 2,000 to 20,000, and yet I don't think anyone could look back on that and be like, "Ugh!" Like you, like I was rewatching some of the clips, just like, "Holy shit!" Outfits were awesome. Like your outfits were on point that year.
Yeah.
I mean, I look back and I'm like, "Oh, girl, what was I thinking?" But
Yeah, but that's what you're supposed to do. That you're supposed to never like what you do. You need to move on.
yeah, exactly.
But we can appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it was good for what it was. Good for that old Trinity.
Mm-hmm. Good for old Trinity. Let's say the next fan question here. What would you say sets you apart from other drag queens?
I think that my determination to just do my best regardless of the circumstances or what's placed in front of me. Also the fact that I'm really well-rounded. You know, a lot of entertainers are really good at one thing and then they lack in something else. I always say I'm not the best at anything. I'm just really good at everything.
I mean, I think that's a lot better, honestly. Next category.
Category is
Drag Me. So this category, I haven't been a huge fan of drag queens. I don't know a lot about the culture. But I have gone to a lot of drag performances and it's always a blast. If you had to pick a drag look for me, what would it be?
A drag look for you. I think I would do something. I mean, I don't really know you, so I don't really know your style, but just based off of what you have on right now, I would pick something like 70s-ish because you have on like this tie-dye. I would totally go with like a 70s vibe, flower child. You look like you probably are high right now from smoking weed. Yeah, and probably like long, straight Naomi Smalls hair.
Okay, fun.
Mm-hmm.
And some hooker heels.
I'm trying to think of like, since I do know you, you said you always wanted to kind of do like, what was it? Like what I did at Six Flags, like the performance.
Mm-hmm.
You said you wanted to do Tweety at one point.
Yeah.
There's an answer somewhere in
Is
there.
there an answer?
I don't know. I was like something that would be fun, energetic.
And based
But
off
you
of what
could-
you
you
said
could,
earlier about you being like flouncy, I definitely would put you in some bell bottoms. Oh my god, that would actually be a really cute, funny drag name. Bell bottoms.
Bell bottoms.
Has that not been done?
I don't know, but that's really
We'll
cute.
Google it.
Disclaimer, that's ours. That's it.
Yes, we got it.
Do you have a drag name?
I don't.
Well, then there you
I haven't
go.
done it
Bell bottoms is your drag name.
It's not bad, actually.
yet. We got some stuff done
It's
today. I love
classy,
it.
but it's got a little bit of
But
cheekiness to it.
it's got a little bit of in there.
It's a little cheeky. I like it. Are we moving on to?
We are moving on to the next category, drag he.
Most of these
I
we've
was
already
like, most of
answered.
these we already said. What is your best tip for dragging bitches to filth? How do you deal with hecklers?
You know, when you're going to roast someone or read someone, it needs to come from a lighter place. I always suggest, and you know, don't take advice from me on this anyway because I'm horrible at roasts. I always think it's better to kind of poke fun at yourself before you poke fun at someone else, so it kind of lightens the mood a little bit. And always, if you dish it, you got to be able to take it.
Truth. Because there are a lot of people who cannot take what they dish out, and you're like, come on. Come on, girl.
I do have one question in that category.
I'll go for it.
Before you knew it was me, what did you, because you knew that there was going to be a makeover episode, right?
Uh-huh.
What were you mentally prepared for?
I honestly didn't know what it was going to be. I knew that it was probably going to be like straight guys because they do that a lot.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, I was just hoping that it wasn't like some big burly football player because like that would have been awful. Like I was just hoping that whoever I got was like really there to actually put in the work because I turn into a monster if I was with somebody that wasn't like there to actually, you know, be doing what we need to do.
Did you
Truth.
think that Rizzo here was going to be that person when they named him for you, or were you kind of like, oh, we'll see?
No. I knew from just being around Rizzo. Rizzo was very professional. He was very timely. He was there to do a job. So I knew whenever he was in the lineup that he was going to do whatever he had to do.
Nice. Okay.
And I did, except for I shaved everywhere, FYI, except for between the cheeks.
Yeah, which I told him, I said, look, tomorrow you need, because he looks like he might be hairy. So I was like, you need to shave everywhere down there, front to back. And so when he got there the next day, he had shaved all down in the front, but he's like, I didn't shave between my cheeks. I'm like, Bitch, I'm known for my tuck, and we had to put duct tape there. You are going to cry later.
Honestly, it was not the most painful part of that experience. I was like, I was just like the idea. I kept contemplating. I went, yeah, I'm not bringing a razor down. I was like, I've shaved everywhere. I'm not going in between the
So
butt.
like, I'll tough it out.
It's like, I just don't like the idea of a blade down there.
It's not that
But,
bad. You could have. There's actually tutorials on YouTube how to shave, like Manscaped down there.
Mhm.
And I would have been happy to help.
Oh, see? Shit.
Like, drag
Miss-
queens are nothing if not helpful.
Wait, can you explain one thing? I know we're slowly running out of time here, but I want you to explain because he wasn't able to get this.
Yeah, where the hell do the balls? What is this pocket?
I
'Cause
couldn't explain it properly.
I'm thinking it's the skin flap in front, right?
So to be just blunt about it, before puberty, your balls, you still do have balls that are formed. They're in these pockets up inside you.
Well, when I came in because I watched your tutorial and I was like, because I was just like, I feel like I know what we're talking about, but also it seems like there's an actual like an area in the bone that is just like perfectly fitted, but it's just like the extra kind of skin.
Yeah, it's not in the bone. There's a pocket. It's
Okay, so I did find it.
yeah.
Yes, I tried in the bathroom before we filmed because I was like, I feel like I know what we're.
Is that what you went in there for?
Eureka! I found it.
Anyway.
Well, why could you have at least been like, ah ha ha?
Next category
God damn it.
is drag we, and that is going to be the rest of our user questions. So number one is from I am Darian Cortez. Ooh, okay. Has your tuck ever popped?
Oh yes, I remember one time. So I live in Florida, and Florida summers are brutal. Like it is. And when you get into a nightclub, I used to live in Tampa. And I worked at a nightclub called the Honey Pot. And it was a very large venue, and the crowds would be massive on the weekends. And so you would have all of the heat from the summer, plus all these bodies inside there. So it would get super duper hot. And one time I was on stage performing in basically like an outfit like I wore for our challenge, our makeover challenge, that was like a sling.
Right.
It's like a slingshot, like a thong. And my duct tape got so sweaty, it literally popped, and I had to back away from the audience,
Oh.
go off stage. It was just what it was.
Yeah.
Ah.
I have to go deal with that. Yeah.
Honestly, bro, that everyone kept it. You were you were prepping me. This is gonna be fierce. You were prepping me. This is gonna be hard. Everyone else was like, this is gonna be the worst thing ever. Honestly, what was more worse were the 10 layers of leggings we had on, and how they were basically first standing in heels with 10 layers of leggings. My toes I couldn't feel anymore.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
I was like, okay. I was like, all right, that's cool. And then halfway through, I had to pee something fierce. And that's when the tuck became painful. Because I was like, shit.
It's gonna be a few hours.
But you made a skirt for me, which was nice.
Yep, I did. Yeah, you
Yeah.
should have just peed down your leg.
He's really bad at holding his pee.
It's
I
like the
was
worst
yeah,
thing.
'cause
I'm horrible on road trips.
I can usually hold it pretty well. Next question is from Isabel015. She says, Trinity, what Drag Race contestants are your friends?
I have a ton of Drag Race friends. Specifically, the girls that I talk to the most. I talk to Peppermint so much. I love Peppermint.
Yes.
I actually talk to Aja a lot.
Mhm.
I try to keep in touch with Valentina a lot.
Mhm.
But other than that, I talk to a ton of girls, all the time, literally. It's mainly the girls from my season that I'm the closest to.
Yeah.
But
Right.
But outside of my season, I still talk to a lot of the girls through text and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, next question is from Maria Bueno. What is your biggest fear in life?
I think my biggest fear in life is uncertainty, or specifically with finances.
Mhm.
I grew up really poor, and I wasn't really aware that we were really poor, because my grandparents that raised me, they were really good about, like, we always had food, we always had presents for Christmas, like they went out, they went without for anything so we could have. But I wasn't really like, I didn't know that we were poor till I got older and realized, oh, we were really poor. And so since I realized that in my like younger adult years, it has always worried me, like not being able to have money for food or bills and stuff. And now that I'm like financially stable, like where I'm making money and I just bought a house, now like my future of that worries me. And that's just something that plagues me. I suffer from anxiety sometimes. And so that's just something that happens. Even if I'm like have like $100,000 in the bank, not that I do, but if I did, like right now, I would still worry about it. Even if like I was a multi-millionaire, that's just one of my worries.
From your mouth to Rizzo's ear, like same.
Yeah, that's very much. Do you ever feel like when you are performing as Trinity the Tuck, that's kind of a different person than who you are behind the scenes?
No, I think that I'm very aware that Trinity I am Trinity. The difference is that Trinity is my job title. Like, say you're a supervisor at McDonald's, you know, your title is, you're a manager, but you're still, your name. You're still your person as a manager. So I'm still Ryan on stage as Trinity, which is my job. I do think that when I'm in face as Trinity, I do think that it allows me to be more myself than when I'm not in drag, because I am a very insecure person, like out of drag. And I also suffer from social anxiety. So being in drag has really helped me with that. And I'm a lot more confident and more in control when I'm in drag.
Nice. Okay.
That's awesome.
Love that. All right. Next question. Is Rizzo gay? From Walrus CeeLo. Well, Rizzo, do you want to answer that for everybody?
I was about to say no, but then I realized that would sound like I'm saying no, I don't want to answer.
Let me ask a better question. Rizzo.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, you got to answer honestly.
Okay.
Have you ever experimented with men, or have you ever even questioned if you might be interested in men?
I think when I was younger, I might have questioned with one of my best friends. But when I think when I realized that I liked women, it was like horrible, because then my entire life became dominated by women. And every choice I made, I look back on my life and I wish I hadn't been interested in anybody, because a lot of life issues would have been solved.
Preach.
But literally from age 13, I was like, everything I do is just going to be in pursuit of a woman. And it got really bad. But yeah, I think there was one time when I was a kid and I had a best friend and I wasn't certain, but
when it hits hard, I feel, because like I was the same way when I was younger. I was like, oh, girlfriend here, girlfriend there, ha ha ha, hold hands, kiss on the cheek. And then like when that puberty hit, I was like, bitch, who? Like, what? Like, you really realize what you're like going for.
So it hit hard for you when you realized that you were gay?
That I was interested in guys.
I think that, like, I'm 30, almost, this year I'll turn 36. I think the older I get, the more I realize, literally, like, these labels that we put on each other of, like, oh, you're gay, oh, you're straight. Like, I definitely wouldn't have sex with a woman, because... Right. But I do find women very attractive, even in, like, their bodies.
Yeah.
But I think sexuality, what turns someone on, all of that is on a spectrum. And, like, you could be on one, like, very far end of the spectrum, but there is still something where people are you're attracted to people because they're people. Not necessarily just because of their gender. I think it's all a spectrum.
Last question. This is from Bernsey Feinhardt. And Bernsey Feinhardt asks, do you have tips for someone who's thinking about starting drag?
Tips, yes. Go on YouTube and watch makeup tutorials. Practice before you think that you're going to go out and do a show. Also, generally in drag shows, you do 3 numbers. Get 3 wigs, get 3 pairs of shoes, get 3 costumes, learn 3 songs. Then, after you've learned your makeup and you've got these tools, then start drag.
Actually, that's a very practical answer. I like that.
Good and concise.
It wasn't a bunch of bullshit like believe in yourself. It was like you need 3 wigs, 3 outfits, 3 songs.
Plan of action. Go do it if you
can't believe in yourself if you have nothing to believe in. So
I know, right? If you have nothing to do with it.
Well, I think that, a lot of people are like, you're gonna you got to just practice and just go out and just do it. Well, no, you need to be prepared, and yes, you do have to practice. You to get good, because you're not the first time you go on stage. You're not going to be the best drag queen, but the first thing is be prepared.
So
and Rizzo was not prepared because he didn't shave his booty hole, but we got through it. We still won because I was there.
Was prepared enough for the both of you.
I'm so mad that like 99% is still not prepared.
I mean, there you go. 99% isn't 100.
Can I tell you,
room for improvement.
That was the best piss I ever took in my life. When I untook, I was just like, God, we did the dance. It was good. I don't have to be an embarrassment to Trinity.
Did you like cry while you were peeing? I feel like I would have.
I might have.
That was all the fan questions. Our last few questions here we'll go through really quick. Number 1, would you host our Pink Popcast drag off?
It's going to be between you two?
Yeah.
I would love to host that and make fun of both of you.
Yes, queen.
Shit. Now
okay, we'll figure that out at some point. I don't know.
Dang it.
We'll talk about it. And then just last 2 real quick questions. This, I guess, is one question with 2 parts. But what is your favorite drag memory, and what is like one of the worst performance memories?
Favorite drag memory was definitely when I won the national pageant, National Entertainer of the Year in 2014. Where I'm from in Alabama, you had to at the time do pageants. If you wanted to get bookings in the nightclubs, you had to do pageants. And this is before Drag Race. So like in order to get booked at even across, the country at different clubs, before Drag Race, you were a pageant queen to get that notoriety. And I had invested since 2005, 10 years, but 6 different times through that 10 years of going to this pageant. It took me 6 tries to finally win. And I spent a lot of money, probably upwards to $100,000 in that 10 years. Getting ready for the pageant. And when I finally won, it was like a lifelong goal, even more so than winning All-Stars.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was something that I invested so much time in, and EOI, that pageant, really polished me as an entertainer. It really was almost like my college for drag, or my school for drag. That was definitely the biggest accomplishment, my favorite memory of drag.
Awesome.
That's great.
So great. Worst, if you care to share.
I mean, there's a ton. I think one of the worst was probably when I first moved to Florida. I had a really good day job, and I was on cast at a bar in Alabama, so I was making bank for a local queen there. And when I moved to Florida, I moved on a whim with just a very minimal savings, like nothing, literally, and no job, nothing. So when I got here, there was no drag job, there was no day job, and it was like in the middle of like the economic shutdown where there was no jobs to be found, especially Florida was the worst. Right. And so I was trying to find a job, could not find a job, and then a couple months went by before I actually got a booking in drag. That was probably the worst time period of Trinity.
Yeah.
If there's anything to be said, you're like the freaking Energizer Bunny from hell. you just keep going, Trin.
Can that should be a look at some point. Energizer Bunny from Hell drag.
That would
There
be.
you
I
go.
would love to see that.
No, when you said horror drag, that was when I was like, ooh, I love.
Interesting.
There's something about that's always fun. Thank you, honestly, for finally coming on and
Thank you so much.
and joining and also kicking off Pride Month with us.
Yes.
Yes.
This will be our first one of the Pride.
Pride.
Yeah.
Woo, woo.
Doing that show, yes, it was fun. Did I win an awesome suit? I did. Was it cool bragging rights? Sure, for a little bit. But for me, working during that period opened my eyes to a world that I had no clue about and helped me appreciate people who, weren't like me at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of the reason that we even do a podcast like this, is just to look into the positive impacts of pop culture and how they can actually connect us
Rather than separating us.
Yeah, so it kind of feels nice to come full circle and have you on for our 1-year anniversary.
Aw, well, I'm glad I could be here for you guys. Very nice to meet you and Rizzo. I hope that we get to play in drag again.
I do too. So we're gonna give you a chance. Is there anything? Where can we follow you, and what should we be looking forward to in the future for Trinity?
So you can go to any of my social medias under Trinity the Tuck, and on my Instagram, Trinity the Tuck, there's a link tree on there that has all of my links to everything. I have a podcast myself called Work, WERK, with Trinity the Tuck.
Nice.
Yes. And I do that. I release a new episode every Monday. New music coming out. Go to my YouTube channel under Trinity the Tuck. Subscribe, like, all that jazz. And just keep up. Merch, go to trinitythetuck.com.
Whoop whoop.
Got it all figured out. I love it. All right, so we're gonna do our sign out.
And then we'll get out of here.
This is super easy. I'll say my name. Benji will say his name. You'll say your name, and then we'll say what we do on Wednesday.
All right, let's go for it. Let's see if this lag isn't going to destroy us.
Okay. So thank you guys for listening. We appreciate that you've been following us for a year, and we look forward to many more episodes and years with you.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. I'm Josiah Rizzo.
I'm BENJI Jones.
I'm Trinity the Tuck.
And on Wednesdays,
We wear pink.
One more time. I'm Josiah Rizzo.
I'm BENJI Jones.
I'm Trinity the Tuck.
And on Wednesdays,
We wear pink.
we wear pink. There you go. There it is. Do you see that?
Take a picture and put
It says,
up.
I will. Oh, well, that's too bright.
Yeah,
okay,
it's like
I'm
just-
going to have to put
We'll add a picture and post.
out a picture. I will do the pink pop. It kind of looks like pop ass.
Well, I have bad handwriting. I will do the Pink Popcast for at least 1 year. BENJI Jones, Josiah Rizzo. It's our signatures.
This is
legally binding because you go, that's not legally binding. And then I go, okay. And I grabbed the marker and said, this is legally binding. 6/19/19. Wow. That's crazy. When is this episode coming out?
Well, so we had already recorded episodes. We signed this afterwards.
Okay.
But we
cool.
we had already started recording episodes. This will be coming out 6th the 3rd, June
Okay.
the 3rd.
Okay. So it is our 1 year from like starting. Yeah.
There you go.
Ba-da-ba-da-bow.